scary.
I love independent thinkers. That is, people who don't just go along with the crowd or the tribe because they have to. Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them. She comes out against Laura Loomer in this one. I'm John Mike Keene.
And I think if you're sitting on the campaign, on the Trump campaign, you're watching him go back to the same exact playbook. I mean, bringing Laura Loomer along with him, being a conspiracy theorist.
Trump is being condemned for being seen with Laura Loomer. I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat if he should be seen with someone like Laura Loomer. We'll get into what she said.
We should note a veritable legion of doom of bigots and liars, perhaps none so depraved as this woman, Laura Loomer.
That's her getting off the aircraft.
Here she is getting off of Trump's plane before yesterday's debate. Just on Sunday, she posted an insanely racist message that if Harris, whose mom was an Indian immigrant, wins, quote, the White House will smell like curry and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, unquote.
Those are cheap shots. They are racist. I actually am okay with some humor that's ethnic based. Is it funny? Maybe. I don't think it's appropriate if you're running for the highest office in the country. Let's read Margie Taylor Greene stepping out here. I'm always so proud of the kind, loving, and welcoming spirit of MAGA and the Republican Party. We have the winning policies that represent every American and put our country first. This is why Laura Loomer's nasty, racist, and divisive rhetoric should not be tolerated. We are not the left. I think that's well said. I have no problem with that. I think it's good that she articulated it. Here she is with some follow-up coming out of the Capitol building.
We all saw your back and forth with Laura Loomer. Do you have concerns about her access to Donald Trump right now?
I have concerns about her rhetoric and her hateful tone. To me, many of the comments that she makes and how she attacks Republicans like me, many other Republicans that are strong supporters of President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole. It doesn't represent who we are as Republicans. And, you know, I typically try to ignore her post, but someone had sent me that post about Kamala Harris, and it bothered me so much. And you know my personality, everyone knows I'm outspoken, and I just felt like it was time to call it out. I think it's wrong. We're not a party of identity politics. We're a party for all Americans. And I think that's so important.
I think this is brave of Marjorie Taylor Greene, or I should say, I think this is sound and well said. I think it's a cheap shot to go after Kamala Harris for her mom being Indian. I think it's funny that she would distance herself from being Indian and pretends to and says she's black or whatever. I think that's an interesting cultural statement. I don't think we need to go around and say, you know, the White House is going to stink like curry if Kamala Harris's mom is in there cooking. Again, I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat. Am I being overly church lady paranoid, or does Margie Taylor Greene make a point that we don't need to be making those comments about Kamala Harris's mom?
And I think that we need to be focused on our policies, the inflation, the economy, and the border, and not attacking people for their race, not attacking them because they may not have children and they love their pets.
That's on calling the Democrats cat ladies, which I've made that joke myself. That's J.D. Vance that said they were single cat ladies, people who enjoy their pets. I agree with Margie Taylor Greene. If we're not joking, if we're being serious, yes, of course you can enjoy your pets. Some people do live alone. If I lived alone, I would get a pet. People go crazy being alone. I get that. So maybe this is about, do we have a sense of humor about things?
And I don't want to have anything to do with that. And neither do the people, my voters at home in my district, and most people I talk to across the country. And so, yeah, I called her out last night, and I think it was important to do.
She's still traveled with the former president. Would you encourage Trump not to keep close contact with her?
You know, Laura Loomer has lost 2 Republican congressional campaigns, one in a general and one in a primary. And this is such an important election. I don't think that she has the experience or the right mentality to advise a very important president.
Now, that's a different question is, given what's at stake, Should Trump be hanging around and talking to Laura Loomer? Should he be seen with her on the plane? Should he be seen with some of the outlier oddballs like, say, Kanye West and Nick Fuentes and all these side oddball, some of them borderline racist people? Here, Margie Taylor Greene is saying, given what's at stake, no, he should not. He should separate himself from it. What do you guys think? Should he stand with his friends? Should he sit with people he's comfortable with? Or should he distance himself from people that are only going to cost him votes? I will say Trump absolutely should. If Trump distanced himself from the position of pro-life because he was afraid of losing an election, and if hanging with a friend like Laura Loomer makes you lose election, throw her under the bus and publicly condemn her because she's not as important as the life issue. Kick her out. Here's back to Jen Psaki.
Doing all of these, I mean, even the Springfield, Ohio attacks on eating dogs, which is, yes, funny and bizarre.
Thank you for admitting that it is bizarre and funny, Jen Psaki. I do think that some of the Haitian jokes are funny. That doesn't mean that I would be condemning it if one of my friends said it or if even Trump said it. But I think we have to acknowledge that some of these kind of cultural car wreck jokes are still funny.
But it also has the same strategy. What he's trying to do is make immigrants, anyone who is a person of color, black, brown, anything other than a white conservative, be scary.
That's racist. As a white conservative, she's trying to make John Mike Keane scary. Because who does that more than the left? Who does it more than the left? That white conservatives are scary. Look at black conservatives like Clarence Thomas, Condoleezza Rice, Thomas Sowell. Are they not scary to the left? So this is I think actually when you mix race into it, you can just remove the word black or white. It's conservatives versus liberals. And we want to make people understand that liberalism or leftism or Marxism is what you should be afraid of. And it doesn't matter if you're black or white supporting it. You have a scary ideology. And the left is saying the same thing. Don't you believe these people? Don't you believe them? If they see a black or an Indian, like J.D. Vance's wife, who is a conservative, they will demonize them and make them out something to be scared. This is all just stuff to think about, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about how long I'm going on this one. I'm John Mike Kane. Subscribe.